Hello, everyone. This is W, host of the podcast feature known as Surprise Cast. Today's interview takes place in a city I have proudly called a second home for more than 35 years, San Francisco. Right now, the city is buzzing, alive with incredible indie music with bands like Chime School, Cindy, and many others helping shape its vibrant scene. Two of my personal favorites, the Umbrellas and the Reds, Pinks, and Purples, have also been enjoying well-deserved success. I'm honored to welcome Morgan Stanley, vocalist, guitarist for the Umbrellas, and Glenn Donaldson, singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist of the Reds, Pinks, and Purples. Together, we'll be talking about music, musicianship, performing, and indie pop albums that have made an impact on our ears. So grab yourself a refreshing drink, settle in, and enjoy my conversation with two Bay Area musicians who truly understand the enduring impact of the San Francisco sound. Welcome. Glenn, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
You're absolutely welcome. What I'd like to know first from you is, what's been inspiring you lately in terms of art?
I went to see a Monet exhibit up at the De Young Museum. That was beautiful. Yeah, I think I want to escape to that world of riverbanks and baskets of wine and bread and beautiful footbridges and lilies. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a beautiful place. That's like heaven, I guess.
It is a beautiful exhibit, and I highly recommend, if people are in San Francisco visiting, to head on over. And what I really appreciate about it, Glenn, is that some exhibits feel very overwhelming and kind of bombard you, and you don't really have a chance to breathe. For this exhibit, the Monet one, I felt like it was spaced out and organized beautifully. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I like when an exhibit is really focused, and then I don't like to go look at another artist afterwards. I like to just go see and just get this like pure bathe in that person's, like someone like Monet, it's like a bathing experience,
Yeah.
like when you're bathing in color. And so I just want to like live in those big pieces and then just walk home in the sunset,
Was there a particular piece that resonated with you?
There's that famous one, the lilies. I mean, that was on the way out, which I've seen for years in books, but it was cool to see in person. But there's so many others. I mean, like the Venice and ones. I mean, it's just, because I take photos of the city here, and so I'm just thinking about how he was seeing buildings, and so it's fun for me.
Thank you for sharing your most recent inspirations. Morgan, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Nice to see you again. What's been inspiring you lately?
Well, I guess traveling has been inspiring me lately. The Umbrellas went on tour with some longtime heroes from the UK, Heavenly. So that was very inspiring, to say the least. And, what else can I say about that? But yeah. Then right after, the Kitchenettes went on our first tour down to LA and San Diego. And we played a really fun house show in LA. And that was very inspiring because we don't get a lot of house shows in San Francisco these days. So I feel like those experiences, it's like I saw a lot of young people in LA and San Diego kind of carrying the torch a little bit, and then got to hang out with some of my all-time heroes for a few nights. So it's been very inspiring.
You mentioned Heavenly, and I did see him not for this last tour, but for last year's tour when they came to San Francisco, and I'd never seen them before. So give us a little bit of kind of your appreciation and affinity for this band that's been doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, if people stick around long enough, they'll hear me gush about a different record by a different band on Sarah Records. And when the Umbrellas first started, we just really, really dug into a lot of those bands on Sarah Records, and Heavenly being one of them. I slowly started to collect all their 7 inches that haven't been like bought up by all the heads over the years. And, I looked at pictures of Amelia Fletcher and like decided to wear like patterned dresses like her, and decided, like I like wanted to like try, I like incorporated some of her singing techniques. She's like very breathy. I was like, I want to be like that too. And like, yeah, I love, and like Matt's guitar playing and the Umbrellas is very inspired by Peter from Heavenly. And yeah, they're like huge for us. I think like Heavenly directly, like if they never happened, Umbrellas would never have happened. So yeah.
And I remember you had played with them last year in San Francisco, and that was such a great 1-2 punch. Give us a little bit of memory of that and just that experience knowing that you're on the same bill as them.
Well, I certainly never thought it would happen again. I thought that was it. So it was like really surreal this second time around, because it was like, oh, like we're kind of friends now. Like we can like talk to them about like footy and like the World Cup, and like I can like pick Amelia's brain about like what was this lyric about, So like it just became so much more like real. But that first time that we played with them, I think I was just really, I feel like I hardly said anything to Amelia. I was like so nervous. And I brought a 7-inch for them to sign, and I didn't even like, I remember I like left. I hadn't even gotten Rob to sign it because I was just so nervous. And like, yeah, I think I was just very nervous to share the stage with them. But this time around, a few years later, it was a little different.
Well, congratulations on that tour. And Glenn, I've got this question for you. And I know you've been living in San Francisco for quite some time. How has this city or specific neighborhood pockets, Richmond, Coal Valley, Mission, wherever, how has it helped sculpt not just your band's music, but the way you see the world?
The world comes out of our perception of things, but this is the simulation we're living in. I was thinking about William Carlos Williams, that poem he wrote, Patterson, where it's like, it's just the city is the poem. And so, yeah, I think when I started this project, I consciously was trying to write a long form, like serial about this neighborhood. I really love that. I haven't read the books, but I love that old PBS series called Tales of a City. And
Yes.
I think it's like, I'm just remembering this now, but that's like another big influence, I think. It's so charming and also really dark. So yeah, I think that's some of that in there too. How's that feel?
Feels great. And Morgan has something to piggyback on. Go ahead.
I just started reading that. Shout out
cool.
to my book club.
So are the books good? I've only seen the PBS. Have you seen the PBS thing? Morgan?
Yes. Yeah. When I first moved to San Francisco, I sort of watched it. What's the like actress that's in it?
Laura Linney.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah. Yeah, I just started reading that, so that's just funny. Like Thomas literally just got me the copy from the library because my book club, none of us have read it, so we're working on it.
That's the thing about that book by Armistead Maupin. It either people know it and know it quite well, or nobody's heard of it. There's not like an in between, and it is so good. Those characters are so rich, detailed, really sculpted beautifully. So yeah, it's a must watch. And I think Olympia Dukakis is actually in the PBS series as well. Who's great actress.
She's the the landlord.
Yes, exactly. So what about for you, Morgan? How has this city or specific pockets of the city kind of just molded the way that you go about your music and also the way that you see the world?
That's a good question. I guess a good example right now is that like Thomas and I just moved over to the Richmond district just this past August. Before that, we were living in Glen Park, and I had lived in this big house where we were just saying we would have band practice few different bands of practice there. I lived there since 2019, and Thomas lived there from like 2022 on or so. And yeah, we lived there for a while, and like umbrellas didn't start when I lived there, but they started shortly before. And I like went through the pandemic there. I like, you know, I felt like I was in like a little bubble. And now that I live in the Richmond, I like see things a little different, like feel things differently. Like yesterday, I like went on a long walk just around like Golden Gate Park. I've had a weird year. I like was unemployed for the first couple months of the year, and like I would just walk a lot over here, and I feel like it is different. It's like every neighborhood that you're in San Francisco, like I feel like like Glenn said, it's like your own little bubble. You have like a different perspective. There are different parts of the city that I don't even go to anymore. Unfortunately, like I don't make it out to the Mission as much anymore. Yeah, just because it's just not as easy, and like I'm having more like intimate times with like my friends who live over here. Like I feel like I see the reds, pinks, and purples a lot more now, and like because everybody lives on the side of the city, so it's great. It's bittersweet. Just anytime you're at a different spot in the city, you're missing something else that's special about like another pocket.
Glenn, do you feel that the city's changing for the better?
I mean, does anyone think anything's changing for the better, like anywhere in America? Maybe New York City is changing for the better, and I think we need a politician like they have in New York City right now. But no, I mean, I think I'm like a barnacle on the bottom of a boat that's sinking here. You need a lot of money to experience American cities.
Morgan, what about you?
This city in particular, and I don't think so. Not right now. I think that I stay hopeful that like the bubble will burst and housing will become more affordable. I have a very far away dream of like being able to live here my whole life and like maybe have a kid, like that all truly depends on like if it's possible here. And at this point in my life, I'm saying that it's not,
So if that's the case, I've heard from some musicians that they've actually had to get out and moved over to the East Bay, where it's more affordable, maybe not as frenetic and crazy paced. Is that something that has been put on the table for either of you in terms of migrating over there?
I don't know. I love living in San Francisco, and especially like with my partner, like being a librarian for the San Francisco Public Library. And like I'm looking at, I'm doing a master's program and looking at libraries too. Like we could be pretty locked into San Francisco. So it's hard to say. I'm not opposed to it, and I definitely understand why people do it for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we've decided to ride it out as long as we can and just hope that something changes. Like Glenn was saying, yeah, cities like New York are very inspiring, like seeing collective change. And it's possible. I know it's possible. Sure. And I try to stay hopeful every day. So,
yeah, I completely understand. So for you, Glenn, what part of being a musician feels natural?
I guess singing is the most natural feeling because that's the thing I've done the longest. I mean, most people sing, their whole lives, or maybe some people never sing, but that singing is something that comes natural to human beings. But I was never really considered myself a musician. I'm trying to kind of get an idea across, and then the instruments and those are just like, dirty paintbrushes. I don't really think of myself in terms of musician or it's more like trying to create this watercolor painting and to show people.
So on the flip side of that, what part of being a musician feels quite uncomfortable?
All of it. I still don't know what I'm doing. And that's the kind of good thing, that discomfort and the like not knowing leads you to be creative and use your resources. I've always wanted to invent new things and learn new things through doing music. I kind of live in the confusing part rather than knowing things.
Yeah. What about for you, Morgan? What feels natural and comes pretty easy for you?
I think it's always been vocals and melodies. Yeah, I love coming up with melodies to like, even just like before I think, I like to like sit with a song and like think about even coming up with like a guitar lead, like by singing a melody or like harmonies. I absolutely love harmonizing with people. So like that, I feel like that's where it all like started for me for sure.
Are we talking harmonies like Simon and Garfunkel that was kind of sprinkled in your household? Are we talking like Everly Brothers, Beach Boys?
I would say like none of those were like exclusively played in my household growing up. I think my brother and I just had a bit of like a backseat karaoke situation growing up, like on car rides, like not even like cool songs. I feel like we were singing like to like K Rock 101 or something, like just like, I
Hey,
don't know,
K-Rock
you
is
know.
cool. Come on.
Okay, sorry, no hate on K Rock at all, but like,
No, not
you
at
know,
all.
early 2000s, like, I don't know, like we were like seeing the White Stripes and stuff, and like that's cool, but like, it's not like,
Like Alien Ant Farm.
yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Holy shit, I haven't heard that name.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Glenn. Good stuff. So what doesn't feel natural? What kind of feels like a slog and painful?
Gosh, it gets harder all the time. I feel like these things are supposed to come easier, but there's all sorts of things that I find unnatural and you have to like push through, even just like coming home from work and like being tired and not wanting to like make a song or like work on music. You know, I've been struggling with that lately. I talked to lots of musician friends about it. Like Thomas and I were just talking about it. You just like I go through phases of like feeling very productive and then not. And then also like I think just like honestly playing shows for me was never natural. Like I've always
Wow.
like struggled with you know, because sonically it like sounds different from your practice space. There are variables outside of your control, and I'm a very like I like to be a person who's in control of things. And you can't always control music, but I've found that the most like difficult in the past, yeah, and present.
An overriding conversational motif that I hear from musicians regarding what feels unnatural at times is the amount of social media promotion, to the point where it feels very frustrating because they can't keep up with the machine. There's an algorithm they feel like they're fighting. Do either of you feel frustrated with that aspect of being a musician, Glenn?
I feel like I figured out how to do it my own way to where I'm not annoyed by it. I wouldn't say I'm like that successful on social media, but it's good enough for me. I don't really, I guess I don't really care all that much about it. For me, I like just making the records and playing with friends. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, I don't know. I've done many projects that no one cared about. So I'm used to it.
Morgan, what about for you?
Matt and I were actually talking about this last night, so hopefully he'll, you know, listen. I'm shouting you out, Matt, because he had a just like, I don't know if it was like a good thought about it, but it was just like a what the heck thought. It was just like we're playing this show coming up, and like with many shows, and like the promoter will like ask, or like any promoter will ask, like he posts about it, and it's like, you're the promoter, like aren't you supposed to post about it? Why are we posting about it? Or like a lot of things are just put on the band now. It didn't always used to be that way. Being a band in this day and age it's like it's just like annoying. Like
Mhm.
we have to promote, our music. We have to promote our show, even though like we're on labels, like, and we have promoters. Like what are people's like titles good for anymore? I don't know.
without a friend. Learn to see the world again.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And
Agreed. I second everything she said there.
Okay. Well, we are going to discuss a few quotes from a book that I love called The Creative Act of Way Being, written by the legendary producer Rick Rubin, known for his work with Johnny Cash, Tom Petty, System of a Down, Beastie Boys, of course. So here's our first quote, and this is all about opinion on success. And this is what he says. How shall we measure success? It isn't popularity, money, or critical esteem. Success occurs in the privacy of the soul. It comes in the moment you decide to release the work before exposure to a single opinion. When you've done all you can to bring out the work's greatest potential, when you're pleased and ready to let go, success has nothing to do with variables outside yourself. Okay, so I'm going to lob this one over to Morgan. I'd love to get your thoughts on this quote.
Yeah, like, however successful you might think your music is, like, that's your own opinion, you know? Like, I mean, I think that truly the umbrella is like, we make music and we'll continue to make music because we love it and we found such a special relationship between us. Like, we're all like such good friends. We get along. It's fun. And when it's not fun, we can all be honest about it and not like have it get weird. And like, I feel like continuing to make music like for that reason is like what I feel like we try to focus on. It's very easy to like get distracted these days and like, try to compare yourself to this kind of, I don't know, like unidentifiable like version of success that's like always changing and you're always chasing after it. I think you'll always be chasing after it if you give it like a head start, So I try to just stay present with it.
He goes on to say this: popular success is a poor barometer of work and worth. In order for a work to connect commercially, stars must align and none of them relate to how good the project is. It might actually just be the timing, the distribution mechanism, and the mood of the culture or connection to current events. So in terms of the umbrellas, I mean, you guys have had some really nice success, in my opinion. It seems like with each album, you're probably scooping up more fans, more sales, if that is important to you. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And like, yeah, it is, of course. I mean, gosh, the ultimate dream is to quit our day jobs. We got two people working in pizza restaurants and one working like, with family, and then one is a teacher. So like, and like, we all appreciate what we do. Being a everyday contributor to society is great, but like, it would be lovely to get paid, pay our San Francisco rent with making music. Yeah, I mean, I often think about like how bands, especially like these older bands like from the 90s are blowing up like on TikTok, reuniting, going on tour. Heavenly just did that. They literally, that was a big topic for us. It's like, they were talking about that, like going viral on TikTok. And like, I'm glad they're getting their flowers, and that's about timing and distribution. It's like, you never know.
Glenn, what's your take on success?
I don't know. I think success is just like, the fulfillment of desire. And I'm always, you're always going to need more. So yeah, it affects you in different ways. Yeah, if I never had any kind of conventional success, I think I would be sad about that and probably wonder what my life would be like if I did. And when I do get some success, I go, well, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. So yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, everything I do is based on a delusion that I have of like making like big anthems, for people to like rock out to. And so if someone has that experience, I feel like I've succeeded. you know, I viewed success in a million different ways since I started making music, when I was 16 or whatever. So it's hard to sum it up, in a short conversation, but
Sure. Well, let me ask you this, because I remember, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, Robert Carlyle from the movie Trainspotting. I think he tweeted out something or posted something on Instagram about how much he appreciates your music. Do you remember this?
yeah, I mean, I've had some like wonderful experiences like since I've done this project and, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I guess I was fishing for experiences like that in my life. And so I have to admit, yeah, I want to be successful. I think everyone does, but you can find success by like just making a song on a 4-track that no one hears, that can be a brilliant moment in your life.
Absolutely. All right, last quote here. This comes from the chapter Play. This is what Rick says. Making art is a serious matter. Harnessing creativity, energy from source, shepherding ideas into the physical plane, participating in the cosmic cycle of creation. The opposite is also true. Making art is pure play. And within every artist, there's a child emptying a box of crayons onto the floor. All right, Morgan, I'm going to lob this one over to you. How much do you love to play in the creation of music? And if you want to talk about, obviously, the umbrellas or any other experiences, go for it.
Yeah, I definitely I really enjoy it. I love in the most recent years, I've really enjoyed getting other perspectives. When I first started playing music, it was just with the umbrellas, and it was Matt bringing a lot of songs to the table, and like me like coming up with melodies, like vocals, and like there's definitely a lot of collaboration there. But I think I like as with I feel like most musicians, you kind of like you grow and you want to like you meet other people and you start other projects. And I've since started a project called the Kitchenettes, and that's been really fun too. And that's like with two people who are like two of my best friends, and like they weren't like conventional like musicians before. They don't know the scale. They don't know music theory or anything like kind of just like how I was when I started. But then I suddenly like had a few years on them, and we collaborated, and it kind of felt like new and fresh, and like it reminded me of how I felt when the Umbrellas first started, and I feel like I needed that. And then, I started playing with telephone numbers, and recently, when I joined the band, Thomas was like, "Okay, if you're gonna join the band, live band, you gotta play lead guitar." And I started playing lead guitar, and that like felt just like it was like working another part of my brain. So yeah, I definitely agree that like the play can be fun. It can be hard to find the energy for it sometimes, but I've always said like, you know, I never regret making it to practice. Like if I'm like tired, if I'm like over socialized, like spent, just like done for the day and I have practice, sometimes you like, you go in kind of just like dreading it a little bit. That feeling is always pretty much dissipated for me because I'm just glad I like made it out there. And like sometimes you have to like drive across the city to get to your practice space, 30-minute traffic. And like, I think the play is worth it for sure.
What about for you, Glenn? How much do you appreciate the art of play in terms of the creation of the music? You embrace that part?
I don't really draw a distinction between those two things. Like creating is like you should try to be as free as possible. And then also you should take that freedom seriously. I mean, even when I was a kid, I think I played really seriously and we invented things that we were serious about, even as children, like setting up a fort for our like Star Wars figures or whatever, or like playing D&D and being like, no, this is a serious game of D&D, So I always take it seriously. And I think like, yeah, I don't like the idea of goofing off and calling it play. I mean,
okay.
It's like, that's really just your brain is moving faster than the logic can control it. So that's a really serious, like, cosmic experience. I don't think it's like, I don't like that. I don't like this distinction between the two things.
Okay. That's a great way of putting it. In 1992, my favorite band, Kitchens of Distinction, a great dream pop band out of London, came to Berkeley, and they put on 60-minute performance in one of the parks, and it was free. Live 105 was hosting it. And I was up front watching the Power of Three do their magic on stage. And after I left, I pretty much said that's probably one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. The music was matching the wind, the leaves were falling off from the trees. It was just perfect. So, Morgan, tell us about an unforgettable concert experience and what made it special.
Man, I mean, the most recent amazing experience was like seeing Heavenly, but it wasn't at either of the shows that we played with them. It was actually like the one that we didn't play with them. It was their warm-up show at My Vinyl Underground at Jigsaw Records in Portland, Oregon. Like, Umbrellas had gotten to Portland the night before. Our first tour in a long time. Since 2024, we haven't toured. So that was already just like a new experience because we've all like grown a lot in the last couple of years. And like, there's a siren going by. Yeah, they were just warming up, and it was like mainly kind of acoustic. There was out of like one PA speaker. I don't even think they could hear themselves. It was in this tiny basement. They played some Dentist songs because Bob Collins from The Dentist is playing. They played a few, like they played a Pooh Sticks song on tape, which I'd never heard them play. And they played Tallulah Gosh on top of all the Heavenly stuff.
Damn.
So like that was full circle, and it was really cool. And like Portland has always been very welcoming to the Umbrellas. I lived in Portland for a little bit, like straight out of high school. So it was good. It was a special show for that reason, just because like, you know, I never thought that felt like I was at like a Sarah Records like party.
Yeah.
So that's my most recent thing. I know there's like really amazing cosmic experiences I've had at shows, but
Sure.
that one just feels like very on brand for this conversation and like for the Umbrellas for sure.
What about for you, Glenn?
Wow, trying to come up with one is hard. How can I narrow it down? I mean, I've seen a lot of concerts. I'd probably say one of the best live bands. I'll just throw out a couple things. The best live bands was Fugazi. I mean, I saw a lot of their like early shows, and those were just, unless it's the kind of thing where you had to be there. I mean, I could see someone not liking the videos or not liking the albums, but when you're in that kind of space with a band playing with that much intensity and like political and social commentary, and also they were always trying to keep it in the moment when they perform.
Yeah.
So it's pretty shocking. This band called The Grifters from the 90s that I was obsessed with. I used to go see them every time they played, and they had a huge like improv element, but they were also like Big Star and the Rolling Stones and Sonic Youth, like all mashed up. And it was just like, I've never seen a band since that seemed so loose and also like tight. So some of those Grifters shows really like freaked me out. I saw them like 5 times or something.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is such an open-ended question, and we could go on and on about,
One more was the first Stereolab tour. When
92?
they were still like a fuzz, before they kind of went fully lounge, they were like this krautrock meets Spaceman 3 sound, like very much like the first Suicide album, but a ton more sound.
Yeah.
And they played at what's now the Independent, and there was so much fuzz. It was like blew your mind. It was just, it just went from like a layer of fuzz to like another layer of fuzz, and then they just kept adding more fuzz. It was just, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then the songs like don't change. They just play one. That's the first time I've seen a band just play one chord for 20 minutes. And you're like, I can't, you don't want it to end.
No, man. Yeah. Stereolab, and I saw them with Red House Painters in Berkeley. Oh, it was absolutely just so good. So good. Speaking of performance, Morgan, how has your relationship with the stage evolved? And what areas, in terms of performing, are you working on?
I truly think it's always evolving. Literally every single time I step on stage, it feels different. Even if we've been on tour, we've been on tour for a month straight before, and like I thought that I would get used to it, and like I guess you kind of get used to the whole pattern of how tour works. Like, you know, drive to show, load in, play show, get out late, talk to people, drive to hotel, sleep for like 6 hours, wake, drive to show, and do it all over again for a month. That I thought that would get me used to it, but it's always changing. I feel like when, even just like my manner, like being more assertive, being like, I need more of this in the monitor. I had to like really kind of learn how to do that. Rose Melberg told me to never, she was working on not apologizing ever on stage. And I remember, yeah, I was like, I agree with that. Don't apologize to anybody on stage.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
it's your space. It's your space that like you built up for yourself, and like you should be able to ask for what you need up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've only seen the Umbrellas once. I don't there was some interaction with the audience, not like Billy Bragg, where he just goes on and talks and some of it is actually quite funny and engaging. But is that something you're working on, a performer, just kind of talking to the audience, maybe giving them a little insight into a song or two, or are you just kind of rip rolling through these songs?
Mm, Keith's dad, Keith, the drummer from the Umbrellas, his dad has this great phrase, less talking, more rocking. So
Okay.
I try to remember that. Yeah, but speaking of Billy Bragg, that was in the last few years, that was one of my favorite shows that I've ever seen, for sure, at Palace of Fine Arts with Charlie and Thomas. And that was a wonderful, wonderful show. And and like also Lloyd Cole, sing him. They have such charisma and such a natural flow. Like they're so charming and like so like, that comes with part of the package though. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like on tour, Kathy from Heavenly was like, "You're so good at talking on stage." And I was like, "Really?" It's like, I don't know about that. I think it depends on each night. And like, I am a very sensitive person to just like
Okay.
energies and stuff. And like, it's very hard to let that stuff go on stage. Yes. For some, I think it's easier. I don't know. I carry a lot around sometimes. So I do try to work on that a little bit.
Glenn, the last time I saw you perform was a couple months ago, 2 to 3 months ago here in the city. And I've seen Reds, Pinks, and Purples 3 times now, maybe 4. And it just seems like with each performance that I'm watching, you are expressing more, emoting more. Am I onto something, or am I completely way out in left field here?
I think it's just depending on the night. Sometimes I feel like putting on a show, and other times I'm feeling like I just want to sing my parts and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I try to put some effort in, and I try to, when I'm singing the songs, express them also in a dramatic way. So I think I'm always trying to get better at that, to try to like make the song a little story for people. I think when I started this project, I was looking around and I was wanting more of that kind of music where the singer kind of was a little bit dramatic and expressed something.
Do you feel like you have a responsibility to the people that attend your shows in any manner in terms of putting on an entertaining performance?
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at performance a lot of different ways. I started off doing a more kind of experimental type of performance thing, almost like site specific, activating the space kind of art performances. But I had also done theater and so I don't know. I got to a point where whatever it is that I'm doing, that's the show.
Yeah.
Even if I am blowing it or excelling and that whatever, that's just the show, And so when I approach it like that, it's really easy. But I am always trying to get better at sort of putting on a show. I kind of, as I get older, appreciate more of the like atmosphere and drama of a live show. And I want to like, I know I crave it when I go see a band. So maybe I'll make an effort, and try to make something, at least some part of the show, be weird or memorable in some way, where like someone takes something away. Like, why was that guy acting like that?
Yeah.
Just because that's why I got into music, is because something about the show was like off, or odd, and moved me somehow.
Yeah. And is there a song from your vast catalog of the Reds, Pinks, and Purples work that gives you this jolt, this energy when you perform it?
Yeah, I mean, there's this song called "Don't Dream Alone" that's kind of it's like a slow builder, and it's like the band kind of latched onto that one really well. So when the band knows a song really well and they're playing with feeling, I get excited, and I try to do it better.
Hope I get an RIP from someone who likes me, 'cause nothing's working out for me. Not sure who I'm trying to be. Is there an angel of mercy who can carry me? Someone to watch me floating. I'm finally free. Everyone's a castaway in the real blue nowhere.
I'm still waiting for your band to play Pictures of the World.
I mean, we've rehearsed it a few times. It just never quite took off.
Oh.
Yeah, I just throw songs out there, and whatever the band seems to like take off on, that's what we do.
You guys are tight on that stage. It's really great to see. Okay, what about for you, Morgan? What's a song from the Umbrellas that gives you that blood rush?
I think similarly, it's like a song, like when we were writing it and like recording it, we were doing it very on the spot, and it really came together in a kind of magical way and like took course in a new direction that we didn't expect. And it's still, when we play it every time, I feel like it gives me a boost of energy. And that's When You Find Out from Fairweather Friend. Yeah, I love playing that one. New songs off the record. There's one that we wrote pretty recently. Again, like super collaborative. And like, I really wanted to take it in like a more like 80s pop, like go-betweens direction. And I feel like we did a really good job with the production and stuff. And playing it live, I like strum like an open chord, and Matt like continues to strum, and it sonically fills in everything really nicely. And I also like put chorus on it. I like never thought, I've just never like done that. I've always just like, I don't know. It made me feel inspired to like try these new things. So when we play it now in the new set with just featuring some of the new songs, it's like a very beautiful moment, I feel like. Yeah.
Do you feel the sense of pressure of being a performer, an entertainer, a musician, where people have possibly gotten babysitters to, get the night off and just go out and have some fun, parking in the city, as you know, it can be grueling. Do you feel that like, okay, I really want to give my all here?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I like, I wish I was cool enough to be like, no, I don't care. No, but that's just not me. I work, we're all living in San Francisco, and like, I certainly understand as much as the next poor soul living under techie world. I understand like wanting to have some release from that. And that's very nice if people show up looking for that at an umbrella show. I'd love to make that happen for them. Sorry if it doesn't, though. So.
Let's talk about some albums that have made an impact on our lives. I think what I'd like to do is just announce 3 albums that you'd like to share and discuss. And we'll start with Glenn.
So I'll go first.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll go in like chronological of like when they came out. I have them all here. So like my CDs are right here. This is like one of the first indie pop albums, I think. It's 1982, Distant Shore, Tracy Thorn's solo record. It's on Cherry Red Records. I don't know, just how how she sings. I think she's like the best singer of all time for me. And like this record, I just listened to it again before we started, and it moves me in the exact same way. It's just powerful and simple, and that's what I always strive to do as a musician.
Could you tell the listeners who Tracy Thorn is in case they're not aware?
And she's also in Everything But the Girl with her partner Ben Watt, who also made a beautiful solo album I could have called North Marine Drive. I could have picked that one too. But I feel like Tracy's is better than Ben's. But I love them both. But if I had to pick, I'm picking Distant Shore.
Just what has happened now, I don't know. So happy 5 minutes ago, laughing and talking of things that we planned.
And I love that you came to this conversation with CDs. I think you're a big CD person, yeah?
Yeah, I have a lot of CDs. It's true. They're cheap, and if I think, I need that classic, I just go get it for $5 instead of spending $40 on the reissue or whatever.
Morgan, do you want to share your first one?
I'll start with Stardust by the Sea Urchins. It's the first Sarah Records release, so come on. It's like classic, it's urgent, it's like, it's I'm convinced that Radiohead ripped this band off. It's like, I swear, who knows? They were,
Wildgrass Pictures is the blueprint of Radiohead, no question.
Yeah. Come on. It's true. It sounds just like I feel like Tom York was like, this band never made it, but yeah, I think all the songs are just beautiful, beginning to end, like 10 out of 10. I think it's perfect. And I think the band itself stayed elusive and stayed mysterious, and you can't repeat that, they're like, where are they now? I don't know. You can find other people, but they're kind of.
I've been looking around again, I don't see anything.
That's a great pick, and I have to give a shout out to this gentleman. His name is Aaron Axelson. He used to work at this wonderful little record store in Berkeley called Maud Lang. And I'd go there often, and I'd literally ask him, what do you got for me today? And he turned me on to Sea Urchins, all of that stuff. And
Mike from Slumberland used to work there too.
That's right. That's correct. And he turned me on to this band, so I'm going to share mine. This album came out in 1996, and it was just reissued, and it's by a band called Velocity Girl, and this is called Simpatico. This album, it's not as noisy. It is very indie pop delicious. Every song, I swear, it's just one of those albums you just want to, from top to bottom shelf. It's you just want to play again and again and again. The hooks and melodies come fast and furious. They're all over this album. And if you can get the reissue, a little pricey, but it's well worth it. It sounds great. Archie Moore did a wonderful job on this. And the cover art's fantastic. So I'm recommending Velocity Girl, Simpatico. Glenn, what is your second one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. I mean, this is going to be a super obvious one, but it's like, I can't deny my like Smith's Meat is Murder, pretty important record for me. Just like the politics, the feelings, I'm a vegan. So I also believe that meat is murder. I didn't get that from Morrissey, but I got that from like Crass probably, or, from reading Maximum Rock and Roll in high school. But I also really resonated with that message on there. It's just an incredible like post-punk record that's sort of inventing indie rock also. A lot of people have talked about Smith, so I don't really need to say much more.
I know, but see, it begs me to ask this question. And that's a hell of an album, by the way. Totally agree. Are you opposed to Morrissey's solo work, or is that just, let's not go there? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I definitely followed it and still follow it. I don't know. At some points, I thought some of the Morrissey solo stuff was better than the Smiths. It's just depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I think I mean, it's a different band, but the songwriting is still amazing. I don't know. I don't know if you need to hear all of them, but yeah, I mean.
Morgan, what's your number 2?
I'm going to go with We'll Have a Time by Dear Nora. Yeah, they are truly... Katie Davidson is one of my favorite, most treasured songwriters ever. The record came out in 2001. So, I feel like that just gave me, a beautiful blueprint, especially, just with the idea of, ever coming up with my own solo music at all, all the melodies, they write, amazing hooks. And I feel like, you can have there's a lot of aesthetic style records these days. And I love how much Katie Davidson, values, writing good hooks and good choruses, it's just good. When I think of indie pop, I think of amazing choruses, a really cool bridge, a really cool outro, and I feel like they check all the boxes and every song is perfect on that record. So
could you give the listeners who aren't familiar with them a little bit of maybe background or kind of style?
I know during this time, Katie was had definitely done a lot of home recordings, and they were later reissued on this 3 States EP, box set or something. And it gives the whole backstory. But I think they're in Portland when this came out. I know they've been in Portland, they've been in Bay Area. They lived in Joshua Tree. And yeah, it's just really good, short, hooky indie pop songs that are recorded on an 8-track and just really, really well done.
Nice. I have to check that one out. Okay. My number 2 is from a band, quite honored of interviewing this band last year. And they released an album kind of like Velocity Girl in the sense of these amazing intros, these big choruses, just the infectious energy in them. I'm talking about this band called Massage, and the album is called Coaster. Are you familiar with this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
from Los
LA.
Angeles, and just beautiful harmonies. The songs are 2 to 3 minutes at most. And they, again, like that Velocity Girl, just one amazing song after another. It's definitely a repeater. So that's my number 2, Massage, Coaster. Dying to see them live. Okay, Glenn, number 3 for you. Will it be the Bats?
I picked this one, Unrest, Imperial FF, full frequency range recording, just because this is such an interesting record. It's really pop, and it's really experimental too. And you got to get the CD with the extra songs, but like Imperial and I Do Believe You're Blushing. I mean, hearing those songs was like such a breath of fresh air when they came out, and it probably made me want to sing pop songs.
Nice.
But it's just a beautiful record. There's like little instrumental bits and beats, and I don't know. Mark Rout, his whole career is amazing. I'm a big fan. He played at the 4-Star a few months ago, and he played 50 songs as a medley, and it was just so impressive. And he has so many great melodies and songs.
Yeah,
he's just a really interesting and inspiring artist all around, graphically as well.
Okay, Morgan, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Dolly Mixture demonstration tapes. Yeah, it's just everything to me. I mean, I only wish I could ever write, so seamlessly seem to write songs like that.
Yeah.
Incorporate that amazing, like, girl group, true, like, girl group meets, like, mod, meets punk, meets, like, 80s cool embellishments and production that they did. Like, nobody can ever do that again the way that they did, and also look so cool while doing it. Be so young. Like,
No.
I'm already, like, way past, like, like how young they were. So, like, it's just, I just find them like the ultimate inspiring all-female band. I think they're wonderful. Yeah.
Great pick. And are you familiar with Railcard?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we said that it's not out yet, right? I was just talking to Mike about it.
They released kind of this 3 EP, put it on one album thing.
Right.
But their new album comes out in September, October.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The new album. Yeah. Yeah. That's a super group for sure.
Absolutely. Awesome pick. My final is Vroom Vroom. I got to go over to Scotland for this one. And most people like to think of this band as power pop. I mean, indie pop as well. Absolutely. And I'm not talking about bandwagon-esque. I'm talking about this little gem of an album. And this is Teenage Fan Club Grand Prix. The songwriting on this is extraordinary. I feel like the production is top notch. And I feel like they just understood the power of their strengths as writers and vocalists. And there's a song on here. I mean, all the songs I love, but 1, 2, and 3, just that 1, 2 punch, 1, 2, 3 punch, Sparky's Dream, Mellow Doubt, Don't Look Back. Jesus. I mean, it's hard to beat. So I'm going with Teenage Fan Club Grand Prix. Either of you like this one?
Oh yeah.
That's
definitely.
Thomas's is like one of his favorites.
Okay.
Yeah. From Thomas from Telephone Numbers for anyone listening.
Yeah, I can tell you his.
Yeah, go ahead. His top 3. Yeah, what's Thomas's top 3?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, why we're here, why not?
One of them is James Lade.
Yeah, James Lade.
And Grand Prix.
No, I think he said songs from Great Northern Britain. Yeah. And then I think he would say 16 Lovers Lane.
Ooh, yes.
Or I think he would say
Miracle Legion.
Yes, that's literally what he said. Yeah. Or Trash Can Sinatra's. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like he would have a meltdown trying to pick it. We didn't ask him.
Okay. So now
we like all those records. All of us. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for sharing. And for people that are listening, if you want to post your comments, what are some of your favorite timeless indie albums? Go ahead. We're going to wrap up this conversation with rapid fire. I'm just going to put out a prompt or a question. You just say what comes right off the top of your head. Glenn, you're going to go first. Are you ready? Okay. North Beach or the Mission?
I'll go with North Beach.
Would you rather take a cable car or Muni?
Muni.
What's the name of a record store besides Amoeba that you enjoy visiting?
Well, I'll go with Tunnel because that's matched with the 4-Star. And like they're just great people over there.
In San Francisco, would you prefer seeing sunset?
Oh, San Francisco is really good for sunsets.
Yes, I agree. Are you a Giants or Warriors fan or neither?
Don't follow sports.
A place you love walking around in the city and just getting lost.
Golden Gate Park.
Best hidden gem in the city.
Hidden gem. I won't reveal it. I want it to remain hidden.
The first venue based on memory where the Reds, Pinks, and Purples played at.
That was at Needles and Pens for an art show. I don't know if it's still there or not. It's in the Mission. It's still there. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
It's like zine art kind of store, magazines, and then my friend Jade was having an art show. I think that was our first show.
Sushi or Italian?
Well, I am part Italian, so I have an affinity for it. But if I was going out to eat, I would definitely pick sushi, but vegan sushi.
That's right. And last one, a movie theater that you would recommend to anybody coming to San Francisco.
4-star theater. 4-star, 100%. Balboa also is great.
Okay, Morgan, your turn. Here we go. North Beach or the Mission?
North Beach.
Cable car or Muni?
Cable car.
The name of a record store besides Amoeba, and I think you work there, that you enjoy visiting.
Stranded.
Yes. Seeing the sunset or sunrise in San Francisco?
Sunset, because hopefully I'm not awake during the sunrise.
Giants or Warriors fan?
Neither right now.
A place you enjoy walking around the city to get lost?
Glen Canyon.
Best hidden gem in the city that you might want to review?
Bird and Beckett bookstore that has jazz on Friday nights.
Where's that?
It's in Glen Park.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. First venue the Umbrellas played at?
They moved. I think they're in the Mission now. Silver Sprocket on Haight Street. It's a comic graphic novel store. Yeah.
Vintage shop or thrifting?
Thrifting, because it's more special when you find something that's not $50.
And a movie theater that you would recommend for moviegoers?
Glenn picked my favorites, so now I'm going off of I'm not going to choose the independent one. Okay, no, the Roxy, yeah.
Oh yeah, haven't been that one in ages. All right, thank you for both sharing, and you did a wonderful job on the lightning round. We're going to wrap it up with a quote, but this time we ain't talking about it. Thank you to Glenn and Morgan for this conversation. And Glenn, is there anything you'd like to share regarding your band, what's coming down the line in 2026?
Well, we're playing in LA and then in San Francisco at the Chapel next week. And then we'll have some East Coast dates, hopefully the first week of October. And then some dates in the UK early next year.
Nice. Great. And Morgan, what about the Umbrellas?
Yeah, we're headlining the San Francisco Pop Fest Weekender. We're doing the Sunday matinee show. Other great bands are playing, like Dear Nora, and my other band, The Kitchenettes, is playing. And Eiler's Set are reuniting to play, so it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
in August. Yeah,
Okay.
and then other than that, we're wrapping up our record. We kind of want to just come out in early next year, and then we plan to tour it a bunch. So hopefully see you early next year.
All right. And everyone can check out your music, both of your music, on Bandcamp, Apple, all that stuff. Yeah? Great.
Wherever you enjoy music, we can be found.
All right. Here's the last quote. Again, this is from Rick Rubin. This is what he says about spontaneity. Artists may prize spontaneous works, thinking there is some higher purity or specialness held in works channeled instead of carefully planned. But can you tell the difference between art that sprang to mind and art that was crafted with forethought? And what does this matter? Made accidentally has no more or less weight than art created through sweat and struggle. Something to think about. My name is W, host of this podcast feature known as Surprise Cast. And remember this, everyone. Great indie music is all around us. All you have to do is keep your ears open.